What's going on, you guys? This is Ryan back again with episode number 1 of Market Monday. A lot of people love this series back in Madden 13, and I figured I'd bring it back for the end of this year. And hopefully for the beginning of Madden 15, I'll actually have it right off the get-go and give you my input on what are some of the best collections to do and some of the best ways to make coins. So I just want to say real quick before we start, if anything sounds weird or looks weird in this video, it's because I had a total hard drive failure 2 days ago, and I had to completely restore my computer with a new hard drive, start from scratch basically, re-download all my programs, everything like that, and get everything situated. So there may be some things that aren't like they used to be until I can figure some stuff out, but I mean, hopefully I did everything correctly and everything will work. But let's go ahead and start this off. So the first thing I want to say is collections are still the way to go if you want to make coins, and not even necessarily collecting the cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the collections that have been recently added to the game. We have these next-gen Casey Hayward collections. Now you're thinking, why would I want Casey Hayward? I mean, there's better cornerbacks. Why would I want to do a collection to do this? Well, that's right. You don't have to do the collection. You sell the collection cards that are needed for these collections. So there's a Casey Hayward for each chemistry. There's man defense, zone defense, run stuff, and I think pass rush. So you go ahead and you check them out on the auction block. Let's say some people like me. Some people get a Casey Hayward like me, and I'm like, well, I don't really care about that card. I'll just throw it up for like 150 or something. A lot of people do this for these collections. I don't know why. I've noticed it a lot, and I just thought I'd share that tip with you. I don't know why people do this, but sometimes they get a next-gen card that isn't the best, and they throw it up for super cheap. So you can go ahead and check out Casey Hayward, and you'll see that they're going for about 8,000 coins. Now, if someone actually throws one up for super cheap, that's a pretty decent profit. And a lot of people like to do these collections because that's a way to get a Lombardi pack. So I'm not going to say this will happen almost every time you check, but there are some people, like myself, that I don't really care. If I get an elite card, I want it to be a good elite card. I don't want a next-gen player. Now, Casey Hayward may not be the exact, the best way to put this, because Casey Hayward actually is a decent corner, but like I said, there is better corners in him that you can acquire that you can actually sell if you don't like in the future. So if you do the Casey Hayward collection, you're stuck with them. But definitely people like myself do put these up for cheap. Let's go ahead and look through some more collections. There is a whole hell of a lot like that you can find players for cheap and resell them, and that's pretty much the theme of this video, is buying and reselling. And I'll tell you the best cards to look up. So definitely Casey Hayward is one of them. And then you got the team of the week. I think these are called the final editions. The final editions, everyone likes to do these, especially because you get yourself a Lombardi pack and you get a really good player. Both of these players right here are really good, and both cards, both collections are still able to be pulled in packs, all the cards in the collection. Every single one of these players besides DeAndre Hopkins and Mike Glennon actually go for a lot. So Paul Faneca, I don't know if I said his name right, Paul Warlow, and then for Alshon Jeffrey, you got the Ezekiel Anza, Leotis McKelvin, Charles Clay, and David Amerson. Now these cards will all go for around 7 to around 10K a piece, and there are people, like I said, you pull those and you're like, oh, I got a final edition, I already did the Alshon Jeffrey, I'll throw it up for cheap. So that's going to be the cards you want to look up. You definitely want to be looking up these cards, because you're going to get a snipe on one of them eventually. And sniping is always good. You can definitely get a snipe on some of these cards and you can resell them. Look at that. Charles Clay's 8K, and that's only looking up one of them. I personally have pulled the Charles Clay. I got mad because I thought it was someone else. I put it up for super cheap. Sometimes I'll usually do it for around 2K, but even at 2K, you can still turn a profit, and you can still even do that collection if you want to. So definitely be on the lookout for new collections, the cards that are in the collections, because some people will just throw them up and they won't even look up the card, like myself. So definitely the team of the weeks are something that you could definitely snipe and resell, or just do the collection. By the way, Alshon Jeffrey and Antro Rowe, like I said, are really good cards. Here's another thing that we have here. The weekly collections are always the best to do this with. Not exactly the NFC North right and AFC South strong safety. These two will change every week, and it'll always be a couple bronze or a silver player, maybe even a gold player. These don't go for too much, but hey, look, it's Julius Peppers. Some might actually be super cheap, especially these guys right here. I don't think any of these guys are rare at all, but they're definitely nice collections to do if you want to get a reward pack and somehow pull something nice like a really good elite card or something like that. But you don't really want to look these players up unless there's someone in here that you know is rare. I wouldn't look it up. Maybe Laurent Landry or Bernard Pollard might be rare. I have no idea. I don't really want to look those up. But I'm more so talking about these right here. These are the cards that you want to look up because these actually go for a lot. Now, they've been starting to add these in here. Players that have long pass chemistry, man defense, short pass zone defense. I've been looking these up, and I've been selling the cards in here and making a massive profit. And then, of course, you got these collections that I've touched on in the past that says that you can get really good cards. It doesn't seem as if they keep the ability to get the old school elite players in the packs. It looks like it only gives you one elite or fantasy player currently, which sucks. But then again, it's still a guaranteed fantasy or elite, and that's always good if you get a guaranteed elite card. It's kind of like opening up a bundle topper. So these are still really nice to do, and they're really nice to go in and check out some of the cards, and you say, well, I have a Patrick Chung, I have a Kenny Phillips, I'm gonna go ahead and look up their price, and you know they may be going for a lot. So always look up these cards. If you have any of these cards in any of these collections, go ahead and look their price up and then sell them, because you're gonna make a lot of coins. A lot of these cards are gonna be going for a lot, and I do mean a lot of coins. I had someone hit me up earlier. I know you guys know his name is Man to Be Free. I think his name is Gorsey on Twitch. And he says, I really hate Ryan915 for telling people about these collections because everything goes for like 15, 20K. And I'm sorry. I mean, that's part of the reason what I'm trying to help you guys with. It is information that could be withheld to ensure that players like us, myself, Chase, and stuff, we make a lot of coins. But why not share it with you guys? I mean, it's the end of MUT. You need to know some of this stuff if you don't. And like I said, all these collections right here will contain players that go for a lot on the auction block. And once you find that one rare one, you can go ahead and look to see if there will be a snipe on that card. That's one of the main reasons myself, London, Chase, we have so many coins, because we know the cards that are rare, and we will look them up until there's a snipe. I know it's a boring, long process, but it's better than sitting there grinding solos and hoping your coin pack will guarantee something more than just 500 all the way through. I mean, I'm talking a lot right now. It's kind of hard to maintain this thing. I'm just trying to tell you guys that these collections right here will gain you a lot of profit if you have the players, or if you can go ahead and snipe some of them. You're going to make a lot of coins, believe me on that one. Other collections that I could see that you can make coins off of are, let's see. Oh, I know one. I think Chase actually touched on one of these in one of his, what is it called? His series that he does, MUT for Dummies. The first thing I did when I switched over to PS4 is I did the bronze coaches, bronze stadiums, and home uniforms. I still haven't messed with the away uniforms because I got confused with the Cowboys uniform. It pissed me off and I didn't want to do it again. I bought like 4 Cowboys uniforms for the home, and I'm like, why are none of these working? And I'm like, oh, that's right. Their home is the white, and it just makes no sense. So definitely all these cards right here go for like 150. You could find each and every card that goes in these collections for 150, and you get 2 jumbo reward packs. I know you guys are going to say, well, reward packs suck. I'm not going to get anything out of them. Believe me, during the beginning of MUT, I don't know if they've toned down the packs, but I pulled 2 Dan Deerdorfs, and I pulled a Warren Moon out of a reward pack. I pulled some decent stuff, and I even seen that someone pulled a mid-season Calvin Johnson out of a reward pack. So these things aren't to be messed with. Just because I don't have the luck anymore, and maybe some of you don't have the luck anymore, doesn't mean that another one of you guys won't have the luck. So definitely, if you haven't messed with these yet, and quite frankly, you should already know these collections. All these collections, all these, starting from Matt Stafford all the way over to defensive playbooks. These are all nice to do and very, very cheap to do. You can get almost every single one of these cards for 150 if you just wait a little bit. So the collection won't cost you anything. You'll probably have most of these anyways in your reserves, and you get 5K and 2 jumper reward packs. And it says there it features 2 gold or better players and 2 elite collectible items, and those collectible items can be used for those uniforms. So definitely, if you want a uniform and you want to make some coins, go ahead and do those collections. Is there anything else here that might be rare to do, or not rare, but nice to do to get you some coins? Let's see. We're doing this live, by the way. I assume that there's some of these collections here that you could do to get yourself a player. You see, I've done so many of these. I've done the Randall Cunningham, the Champ Bailey, and that's mostly because I open up a lot of packs. I get a lot of pulls, and then I can actually make money doing the collection and selling the cards. So that's another thing. If you guys have a couple of Orlando Pace collectibles and you want to go ahead and buy out the rest, you're most likely going to make a profit because you don't have to spend that many coins in order to get the Pace, and the Pace will sell for around 200 something K, which is what I did. I pulled 2 Orlando Pace collectibles, and I calculated the price. I pulled the first overall pick and the All Pro, and I calculated the price for the rest, and it was only like, I think like 80K, so I made a pretty big profit. So it's definitely something that you should be looking at. And there's a lot of these that you can actually do that for. I'm still trying to do Sean Taylor for cheap. I have one collectible saved right now, and that's the U. Sean Taylor's a card that I really have wanted to play with all year long, and I have the coins to buy him. I just don't want to spend that much because I don't know, any day now he could become somewhat cheaper, and I don't want to take a big loss. I mean, it takes a couple more legend packs to come out, and his collection might be cheap. So definitely just be wary of the cards that you have, because you could definitely look up the rest and make a profit. DERMONTTI Dawson is one of the ones that I made such a big profit off of, because I didn't know the Hall of Fame one was actually the rare. I had his Hall of Fame, I had his Steelers all-time, and his 6-time All-Pro. And I didn't really know that DERMONTTI Dawson went for so many coins. At the time, he was going for like 220K. And I'm like, well, I have a couple DERMONTTI Dawsons. How many are in his collection? And I noticed he only had a few. He only had 6. I looked up the rest. The rest of it only costed me 40K. And I sold the card for 220K. So that's a pretty big profit. A lot of people will already know this, but just by the off chance that you don't, there's a little tip for you. These collections are definitely worth doing if you have a decent bit. And I always collect the ones that I have. As you see, I collected a Walter Jones. The reason I haven't collected the Sean Taylor is because I'm not really sure 100% if I'll be able to do that. So let's see, is there anything else here that I can help you with? Premium and team MVPs. See, team MVPs are kind of tricky because there's always 1 or 2 cards that are going for a lot. And I guess if you could find the rare card in the collection, you could possibly go ahead and do it for cheap. Like, just give you an example here. If you could find, what's one that I did that is actually, I haven't done a lot of these on PS4. I don't know why I haven't messed with them, but I guess we'll go with the Titans. Titans are my favorite team. Most of these cards are here. Some of them will be maybe like 6, 7K. You could definitely get these for cheaper though. Like the Delaney Walker all of a sudden has been rare. It's been around 8, 9K. Well, some people pulled Delaney Walker and they're like, well, I don't really need him. I'll throw him up for, you know, a 1K or 2K. They won't even look it up. They're just like, I got Delaney Walker. I don't care. Put him up for 150 to like 2K. Well, that's a snipe. You snipe that, you put it in the collection, and you make a profit off doing the collection. So most of these collections will have a rare card like Michael Ruse. You know, Michael Ruse sometimes goes from around anywhere from 10K to 40K. Well, if you see him at 10K, obviously you want to grab that up. Some people don't really care about the chemistry and they'll throw him up, and you could just go ahead and buy him. And I mean, it is the end of the year, and you know, I really don't want to withhold information from you guys, so that is something that you could definitely make a profit on. I was advised not to say anything in my video about that, but why not? It really is the end of the year. Who cares? So go ahead and try to snipe the cards that are in the collections that go for a lot, and you can go ahead and make a profit off the collection by far. I'm actually going to start doing some of these collections because I have a lot of these cards. So I really don't know why I haven't touched them. I guess Titanfall's come out and I've been messing with that, and my computer hard drive fucked up, so I haven't really had time to mess with any of these. But a lot of these are profitable if you have the cards and if you get the cards for cheap. These right here are absolutely ridiculous though to do. The ones at 40, good luck doing these. You're gonna have to get a lot of cards, but I don't know. And then of course the loyalty collections are the worst things ever. Just be sure to know that if you pull the ones that have won, like the big one, which is a Super Bowl trophy, if you pull Megatron or Ray Lewis, those are won as well. You can get yourself 25K to 50K for doing those. And then the rest of these are just absolutely impossible, so I don't even know why they did this. I guess you have to get lucky, which is retarded, but that's EA for you. Anything else here? I guess if you have Pro Bowl collectibles left over, you could do these and get yourself some coins. But that's pretty much it, I guess, for episode number 1. I touched on a lot of things that I do myself to make coins, and I think it'll help you guys a lot. So definitely utilize the market. Go ahead and try to get yourself some snipes. Try to snipe yourself a Michael Vick. I want to see someone post a link to them sniping Michael Vick for cheap, because anytime I look up Vick, he's like 3 million, and it's ridiculous. So I don't know. I guess that's pretty much it though. Like I said, I'm sorry this is late. My hard drive did crash, and I was trying to fix my computer and stuff like that, and I'm gonna watch Raw. So this will be up here in about 10 minutes. It's like around 8:20 p.m. Eastern time, so I don't know if it's a little bit too late. I would hold it off to tomorrow, but then it wouldn't be Market Monday. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'll talk to you in another video. Peace.